All right, welcome back to Roman's Christmas. Last time we solved the mystery behind who murdered Iannis. And now we found out that Elegant is a little on the suspicious side. I still trust her implicitly, but she did fabricate some evidence earlier in the story. So we're kind of giving her the side eye now. Everybody is downstairs currently having breakfast, and we just heard a thump from upstairs indicating something has gone awry. What in the world? The corridor was empty, and every door was closed firmly. Lodgers followed one by one to see what had made the noise from the attic. Ouch! Stupid limp legs. He's awake! Ivy squeezed past me and hurried up the ladder into the attic. He wonders why people mistake him for being a kid. And I climbed in the... Hey, it's Anzox! He lives! Ivy had lifted Anzox up from the floor and had him seated on the edge of the bed. Phew, much obliged. I'm just glad you're finally awake. I was worried you wouldn't wake up. Was it really that serious? Ivy was nippling his index finger as he nodded. How long was I asleep? It's been 1 week since you woke, a little over a day or so. And here I thought I'd wake up to find Helios III sitting on the throne. Well, I doubt that. Before he could finish, Anzox clasped Ivy's mouth shut. Take care with your words, or we... Between the heavy snow and the dwindling population, I think we'll be fine. What did you say? Between the heavy snow... No, the last part. What do you mean, dwindling population? Well, the fact is... While you were unconscious, there was another incident. Anzox's hand stiffened. What happened? What happened? It's, Wait, don't tell me. I'm starving. Please tell me there's something available. I'd rather face tragedy with a full belly. Yes, there is. Ivy glanced at me and raised his eyebrow. I had to admit, I wasn't used to seeing eyebrows on a dragon. But given how fluffy he was, it made sense he'd have eyebrows. I looked into the stew pot. It was completely empty. It was so clean I almost suspected that Zarn had thoroughly licked the pot. We should probably check elsewhere. Thrybee's stew and mine are untouched. Take whose stew? Mine. I took my bowl and walked upstairs slowly. Furry White Paw reached down for the bowl. I stood on my tiptoes and handed it up to him. I can feed myself, thank you. You'll do no such thing. You remember what happened when you tried to stand up in your own power? Now hush. Boomf. Ivy was spooning broth into Anzox's mouth. In your current state, all you end up doing is spilling it all over the bed. Truly? And if nothing else, I wouldn't have had an easy midnight snack. I doubt Zarn would agree with you. Time to look around. I should be able to peek in someone's room if they're not there. Anzox! I did everything I could think of to make you wake up. I slapped you in the belly, I played your lute, I yanked on your tail, nothing was working. Why me? All the people in this tavern. I have no idea. You'd have to ask Vincel. By the way, I have an explanation. There's no motivation for Vincel to kill me, for he's not the one. I'm not the one he wants to kill. Roman already explained it. Do you think I heard that? You want to kill me. Then why was it not him but Harren who sent me upstairs to fetch the rosary? That must mean Vincel is not the real murderer. The real murderer is Harren. Harren? This name sounds somewhat familiar. Maybe it's just some delusion. Fine. Well, you know where we're going. Where the hell is she? Touch all of her stuff. Rummage through all her crap. The only thing in that drawer is a notebook. I'm sick of seeing it. Just a set of ordinary clothes in back. Nothing will make you stand out in a crowd while wearing them. Last thing anyone professional will want is a uniform. After all, you never really know when you need to hide in a crowd. I thought I'd find something juicy. Well, yeah, there's all the corpses. It's getting pretty clean around here. Harren and Peter were exchanging rooms. I'd have to wait until they finished. Well, fuck. Okay, there's really nothing up here. The hall was empty. There was only Zarn, who had just put the kitchen in order and was standing behind the counter, and Solar, who was avoiding the gaze in silence. I want this. No, stop. If this keeps up, I'll run out of things to cook and water to cook it with. Solar didn't respond, but sat there quietly and stared at the ring on her finger. Sparking conversationalist, ma'am. It seems there's someone inside. They were making a noise, but my instincts told me so. Knock on the door. Elegant? Is that you? 89,000 inside. I'm probably mistaken. Okay. So I stood at the counter and there was way too narrow to pass. Alright, fine. Let's check my room. I still haven't closed that window. There was only some boring clothes in the bag. Nothing that at a glance would suggest that the bag's owner was a detective. 2 shirts, 1 white and 1 blue in the exact same texture and style, and a pair of pants. I feel you, man. The arrow is stained with Giannis's blood. Most arrows only kill 1 person. I guess you feel honored involved in 2 murders. You can listen to the dialogues more than once. Ah, thank you. Very well, so why was I struck by the ladder? Sabotage. Vincel broke the handle so the ladder fell down at the slightest touch. What? I don't know that guy. What would make him do such a thing? Man. Roman did not show Roman tell you why. He doesn't know either. But you mean that Roman doesn't know why Vincel wanted to kill me? Yes, Vincel is found in the cellar and refuses to say anything. Help me out of this bed. I want to meet him. It's useless. Well, I would like to go downstairs. Anyway, I left some of my things down there. Then I'll fetch it for you. Describe the items, please. You dragon. That would explain his eagerness to wed me. Do you think he could have ever loved me? You can look at Char if you're ever unsure how many survivors there are. Ah. Cain got turned into soup. Oh no, it describes how they died, yeah. Well, the answer is yes or no, it's still a tragedy. I can't imagine what caused this indiscretion. Was he always this way, and he just failed to see it? Have I grown too old, or too thin, and too fat for his liking? Was it just that I no longer excited him? Not to interrupt, but it's probably not your fault. Perhaps, but I can't help but think that if we hadn't argued before, he wouldn't have. Not to speak ill of the dead, but someone who cheats is gonna cheat, no matter what the reason. I don't need to beat yourself up about it. Who else should I blame then? It's impossible for me to push all the responsibility onto him. Now I was getting curious. How could someone who seemed as meek and gentle as soul ram a dagger so deeply into Lunoc's body? Because he was a killer, and he was going to get away with it. Were you not paying attention? He isn't totally to blame either. It wouldn't have been so bad if the laws of Apollyon were a bit more lenient. Lenient? A lenient law won't constrain anything. That's not always a bad thing. For example, according to the laws here in Apollyon, sex between males is a major crime. If it wasn't, he wouldn't have felt the need to marry you to hide his true self. Hide his true self. Sola lowered her head and turned the ring around her boss. Yeah, okay, so I can't talk to the boys. Rima so sa mi so sa mi so sa re fa. As I had feared, after such a long coma, my skill at singing had become as rusty as my scales. You're only unconscious for a day. That's hardly long enough to forget basic arpeggios. True, but my head does still. Wait, how do you know about music too? As speaking rhetorically. As got a deft look at Thrivey, sniffed the air and shrugged his shoulders. You lack the scent of a musician, since what is that smellable? Unless you have urgent matters, I suggest you stay in bed until you're fully recovered. Ah, heck. Anzox was holding his lute and strumming gently, trying to work out his fingers. Thrivey was quietly searching for earplugs. Oh, God, Thrivey. You're trying, man. You're trying. Slowly pulled her wedding band off. Her palm was slowly turning around, the front as it was dented inwards where the ring had rested. Someone walked up from behind the counter and sat on a chair, stretching it as he did so. Aha! Out of my way! Vincel tilted his head to his side as he twisted against his bindings, holding his arms, his eyes unseeing. Hey, doofus. Vincel rocked violently on his chair, leaning towards the cellar exit with bared fangs and angry snarling hiss. Still got some fight in you, huh? What are you doing here? If you got nothing to say to me, then get out! His fur was disheveled and was bloodshot. His jaw trembled when he spoke like he wanted to sink his fangs into my throat. After just one day in the cellar, Vincel's genteel manners were gone, replaced by an almost feral, predatory savagery. Was he always like this and just hiding it? Yes, I already know. If you guys still don't stop. I'm not interested in telling you stories today. Fuck off. Vincel rolled his eyes and turned his head away from me. Alright, damn. Seeing how many unsecured knives are in this kitchen, I'm surprised I almost tried to use one as a murder weapon. Odd. Search Vincel's room or Solar's room? What do I need to say? Oh, wait. Yeah, hang on. I looked around and quietly was slit in the nightstand door to peek inside. Huh, it was really just a set of women's underwear? I immediately closed the drawer. Well, okay. Looks like only one person slept here recently. 4 good reasons. The rainbow wine in a glass that lost its aroma as dust drifting on a liquid surface. Vincel's room or Solar's room? Well, the music's different here. I opened Vincel's drawer, containing spice samples, wallets, and a pair of gloves. Strange, I remember that when he was taken into the cellar, he was also wearing a pair of gloves then too. I guess if we're wildly enough, he can own multiple pairs of gloves. I heard footsteps from outside the door, so I quickly closed the drawer without touching the contents. With no murder cases now, it's inappropriate to search someone's belongings, or at least try not to get caught while doing it. I heard the wooden door slowly open. I turned around and stepped back, holding my breath and trying not to look too tense. Detective! It's dinner time! I nodded and quickly followed. Thrivey pushed open the door, glanced quickly around the room, and tilted his head. Go downstairs when you're ready. I'll wait. I nodded and left the room with him. Vincel had an extra pair of gloves. Tapman's atmosphere was a bit brighter since Anzox had returned, and a long absent smile had returned to Zorn's face. He sat down at the table at heart, opposite Anzox and Peter. I suppose it's fortunate that it was I who was struck by the ladder, and not someone else. You don't say that. True, you don't have much frame of money or success right now, but actually I meant it's because I have my scaly armor. Otherwise, well... Peter froze his mouth half open as though his brain was catching up to his jaw. I mean, you're also right about the other stuff. Zorn set 3 bowls of stew in front of us. Stew seemed a bit lower in quality than before. You could see how stringy the meat was without even trying. Enjoy your meal. Easy for him to say. You need strong jaws, eat this. Anzox filled his bowl to his mouth and poured the contents down his throat. Yeah, sworn he didn't even chew it. Peter slowly picked up a piece of meat, wrinkled his nose, and took a bite. I'd imagine Zorn's produce reserves were already empty, but in our current situation, being picky wasn't an option. After chewing for a long time, he turned his head and watched Anzox lick the bottom of the bowl. Still hungry by any chance? Of course. You think a dragon's appetite could be so easily satisfied? Peter slowly pushed his bowl to Anzox while using his body to block the movement of his hands from being seen by Zorn. Besides, I was hungry before and I missed Christmas dinner. I swear I'd eat a horse, saddle and all, at that point. And you'll probably like the stew. Anzox grabbed the bowl in front of him and poured the second bowl of stew into his mouth. Waggle, 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 waggle. After dinner, everyone stayed in the hall. No one wanted to be the first to go upstairs, so everyone sat silently in their seats, staring at each other with the sound of snow and went outside. Just guns pointed. Any one of you could be a killer. We still have 2 days left. Now that everyone is free, how about we decide on the night watch candidate for tonight? As soon as Anzox's eyes started to raise his hand, Thrivey glared at him. You may have slept all day and night. That's no reason for you to do a vigil before you fully recover. As a resident doctor, I suggest you rest until your scales have healed. Don't even think about it. Well, what a troublesome doctor you are. Why not so troublesome? You would be dead. I can do it. I am the tavern owner and... Before you finish speaking, Charm was interrupted by a great yawn. Nah, never mind. I raised my hand. I can... I can hit nobody else. Don't you have a cold? It's fine, it's just a... I can tell by your voice that your throat must be sore. Are you sure? Don't worry, I'm fine. I adjusted my collar. It should be difficult tonight. Everyone upstairs one after another, and I did too. I had to go back to my room to get something. A knife! Zorn followed me and we went upstairs together. I go out into the room and I could hear the sound of keys turning and locks clicking coming from the hall. I settled down and was prepared to spend the night awake. It wouldn't be too difficult to hear anything happening upstairs, so I might as well be here. In all aspects, in fact, this room was probably the most suitable place to keep watch. Just can't fall asleep. Day 5, 27 December, 1285. Just can't fall. There was a loud sudden knock. My eyes snapped open. Oh shit, I fell asleep. I quickly got up from bed and hurried to open the door. Huh, you're fine. Oh no! I looked in the fucking, come on! I looked in the corridor from the crack of the door only to find that there were several dark brown footprints in the corridor leading towards the spiral staircase. Then that just leaves Peter. Before I could rack Torrance took a hand from the keychain. The key failed into the keyhole. What the? Maybe this one? The door slammed open. Blood. That was the only thing that could fill my thoughts at this point. The door swung open and a thick, stinky miasma of fresh blood flowed out, spreading to the blood-splattered wall. Fresh blood. The pool of blood at the door was evenly smeared across the bottom of the door, painting a crimson arc. Peter was lying peacefully in his bed, a ham knife sticking out of his chest. The blood flowing from the wound was gelled and stuck on the fur of his trunk without falling. No trace of his struggle, no scream for help, no shocked expression. A quick, precise, and painless death. That was the only comfort I had, and I only thought that it kept me sane and aware in the face of such a brutal scene. Soren stood there numbly. Just fucking stop it with the achievements! His hand fell slack from the doorknob as he stepped into the room, his foot landing in a half-dried, bloody footprint. How could he have so much blood? It was every word had squirmed free from his squirted teeth. Zarn bent forward and slumped to the ground, and the impact from his body even shook the wooden beams that held up the ceiling. Hands locked and Thrivey ran up from the side, holding his shoulders to help him up. Solar gritted her teeth and leaned against the wall. Heron moved to help her, but Solar waved him away. Wait, one person is missing. I raced downstairs to the lobby. The fire was fuck! Footprints stretched all the way from the stairwell and stopped in front of the counter. The dark red stained the carpet above the wooden floor. Roman was lying on the counter. Wait, what? I'm Roman. He slept soundly. The bottom of his boot was covered in brown, black, clotted blood, and a fine. What? I did read the achievement. It was awful. What? I'm Roman. Roman. Wait, I'm elegant? What? Taking care to avoid the punishments, I rushed to his side and shook him vigorously. Huh? What happened? You fell asleep. What? I fell asleep. What time is it? There is one other matter. Is that blood on the fucking floor? Before I could speak, Roman crawled off the counter and then froze. His horrified gaze followed the blood on the ground, from the staircase to his boots. Peter is dead. This wasn't me. Really? Why would I? You believe me, right? I felt a rough skilled claw rest on my shoulder. We need to talk now. Zorn grabbed my arm and dragged me to the staircase, whispered in my ear. Elegant, I need your help. Have you ever done detective work? Once? Good enough. Should be obvious, but Roman's the prime suspect right now. Nobody's gonna believe a word he says, much less let him investigate. So you need to do it instead. Passed the keys to me while he was talking. Oh my god, he's sweating fucking buckets over here. Are you certain of this? It would be better if I oversaw the investigation and vouched for his conclusion. Roman told me you're the cleverest feline he's ever met. I believe you can find the truth. Faint praise aside, that hardly sounds like Roman. And you're the only one who can prove Roman innocent. I am not interested. Well, I guess I have to turn to Anzox for help. Absolutely not! Start working then. Shit, I don't have my nose though. I got my hers. What the fuck, man? Roman is curled up at the counter like a frightened bird. I have something to ask you. Just saying. His hair is messy and his eyes are dark and defeated. I know this is difficult, but I believe you're innocent. As a detective, you're not the sort who would harm others on impulse. That's nice, but what about the others? The others, well, they think I did it. I know why Zarn didn't ask me to investigate. I do. I'm the most suspicious one right now. But there's something, although I can totally understand why, and if I were like him, I might have done the same. But there's still something I can't accept. Do you remember what happened last night? Nothing happened when I was keeping watch. But I fell asleep. I was too tired because of the cold. But I think I did hear something before I fell unconscious. So what was it exactly? Did you hear where it came from? No, I don't know. Right, there is something weird. What is it? Before my night watch, I checked my right pocket to make sure my key was in there. But this morning I found my key in my left pocket. Someone stole Roman's key. I gently touched his shoulder. His ears twitched and his head, which had almost gone to his mouth, lowered. I inspected him carefully. He was wearing his coat as usual. The collar band was made of wolfskin. He is wearing a blue shirt today. No bloodstains on his trousers. Some cracked, clotted blood on the sole of his boot, and there are traces of splashed blood on the boot. Roman hadn't lit the candle. Well, of course, he can see things in darkness. He can? Nothing is getting to suspicion that nags at me. Yeah, that's where the murder weapon was from, guy. Let's check it out. There's a paring knife, a vegetable knife, a bread knife, and one knife that has gone missing. Which one is missing? The ham knife. Apparently. I must concentrate. There's nothing in the pot. There's nothing in the pot over here either. Are you sure that all the doors were locked last night? Yes, I locked every single door. Not that it seems to help at this point. Did Peter have a fight with anyone? Let me think. There was that one argument between Peter and Roman yesterday. Didn't you say we were going to protect everyone? What? First Cain, then Anzox, now Giannis. Are you doing this on purpose? It's not like I can just magically... Bullshit! For all we know, you're just manipulating us so you can satisfy your desire to solve murders. Do you seriously hear what you're saying right now? You think I enjoy watching people I care about die? You think anybody at least told me is happy with what's going on? Sorry. Why did it have to be... Is the ham knife in the crime scene the one currently missing from the kitchen? I wish I had secured the kitchen better. Zoran is dressed as usual with his polished buttons, roll-up sleeve, and belts tying his wings. Okay, that is where we're going to have to finish up for tonight with this new murder. But before we go, we did unlock some more CGs, so let's take a look at that. We might be treading familiar territory here. Is that a different title? Oh no, it's just different depth of field. So, fun fact, if you refuse the initial request to solve the murder, you get this CG. As Zoran is like, no, you are going to actually play the video game. And Roman is like, okay, sounds great. I'm into it. Nothing new, nothing new, nothing new. Kawaki boys. That's our dead Shork. That's our dead Shork again. That's our dead Killer. That's our dead Rabbit. And then all the comic CGs. Alright, and that's all. I do like the little little thing of Zoran eating shit in that last panel there. So that was this episode of Roman's Christmas. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to follow me, subscribe to me, and hit that bell for more videos like this every single weekday. Oh look, Elegance in front now. Elegance Christmas. I didn't even see that. That's awesome. You can find more information about this game in the description below this video. You can find me on social media at the Siege Andrew, on Twitter and Mastodon, Facebook.com/SFiendStudios. On Twitter and Mastodon. I'm so hyped about Elegance Christmas. On Twitter and Mastodon at the Siege Andrew. On Facebook.com/SFiendStudios, SFiendStudios.squarespace.com, where you can find all of my articles and short stories, including Lord of Vermin and on Sanity, and SF15Studios.h.io, where you can find all of my tabletop games, including Delirium and Nightmare Theater. Once more, I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.